All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? In one age-old beef and one fairly new beef, we've gotten a response from Ja Rule and Joe Budden in regards to Eminem's new album, Kamikaze, in which Eminem did mention both the former rappers' names. Now, I don't think Ja Rule's putting out any new music anytime soon, and Joe Budden claims he's retired. So all we can take from these guys is one on Twitter and one on IG Live, since they're not going to get in a yo and make a response. Now, if you don't remember, way back yonder, back in the day, Ja Rule had a line that really pissed Eminem off in the heat of their beef, Ja's beef with 50 Cent, anything connected to 50. Ja, on the record Loose Change, or diss record, he said, "M, you claims your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut," his wife at the time. "So what does that mean Haley gonna be when she grows up?" All right, again, at the time, that's Eminem's daughter. She was like 7 years old. M ain't like that bar at all. And I believe Eminem saw when Ja Rule commented on Pusha T and Drake's beef a couple months ago. If you don't remember, Ja Rule got on social media and was like, "I don't think there's ever been a rap beef where four of the top rappers go at one guy, 50, M, Busta, DMX. LOL, the more I think about it, I'm sorry, y'all, but I had one of the most disrespectful diss tracks of all time, Drake and Pusha T." Again, he was talking about that Loose Change record. I'm guessing Eminem saw that Ja brought that beef back up, and that made him, on his new project, Kamikaze, on this record called Greatest, bring up his beef with Ja Rule. Eminem said, "God forbid I forget, go and jump out of the window. Somebody better child-proof it, because if I lose it, we can rewind to some old Ja Rule shit, and I can remind motherfuckers I'll do shit." Now, Ja Rule must have heard the bar. Somebody tweeted at him and said, "Laughing my ass off, Eminem throwing another shot at Ja Rule." And Rule responded by saying, "Guess that Haley line must be starting to hit home." Laughing emoji. Now, let's swing over to Joe Budden. Joe was very critical of Eminem's last official studio album, Revival. As a matter of fact, it was towards the end of Everyday Struggle, when Joe was on it, in which they critiqued the Revival album. He kept that same energy onto his podcast, in which he pretty much said the album wasn't good. Right? A lot of people had that perspective, but I believe because Joe is technically signed to Eminem Slaughterhouse, that hit home with M. And because of, let's call it what it is, Joe's as popular as he's ever been right now with his podcast, the media personality brand, and everything else that Joe has going on in his career. So it hits M quicker and probably harder because they have a relationship, or somewhat of a relationship, at least in business and maybe personal as well. So on Eminem's last album, and I mean, he was just handing out smoke to anybody that would receive it. On a record called Fall, M says, "Somebody tell Budden before I snap, he better fasten it, or I'll have his body bag zipped. The closest thing he'll have to hits is when he's smacking bitches." Now, Joe Budden was recently on Instagram Live, and he did comment on Eminem's jab at him, the domestic abuse jab, and it's not going to lead to him rapping again. He said, "M is one of the best rappers in the world, arguably one of the best rappers ever, right? Right this second, he's trying to prove that he can rap." Joe went on to dead any possibility of him responding in a rap. He said if anybody wanted Joe to respond to them in a rap, all they had to do was say Joe's name 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Don't do it. Now, Joe's retired. Ja's not rapping. Those are the only responses you're going to get from these two. I would say Ja's an iconic rapper, and I believe Joe, when it's all said and done, is going to be an iconic media personality, which might help a lot of his back catalog in regards to rap. And definitely we know M's a legend. But these are the responses. Thank y'all for the time. Let's put. I don't take it for granted. Is it weak that we got rappers responding on social media and not with raps in 2018? Y'all talk to me. I'm out. What up, Ferros? I decided to step my game up again. I've created a music reaction Instagram page. That way, you guys can be up to date on some of the latest new music in the atmosphere, and you guys can also send me some of your music as well, and you will get Mr. Taliaferro's first reaction to your record, for good or for bad, or an artist that we talk about on my platform's music, for good or for bad. Again, follow me on Instagram, Mr. Taliaferro TV. Again, that's Mr. Taliaferro TV, and you get more of yours truly.